Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel, honey. Welcome back to another quick chat regarding Real Housewives of Potomac. And specifically, we're going to talk about Miss Karen Huger because Miss Karen did do a review on the latest episode, this episode, and I believe last week's. Okay. And we are going to just touch on a few things that Karen said in her review. We're also going to get to a interview that Miss Candiace Dillard Bassett had with the Neighborhood Talk. And I can't wait to hear you all's thoughts about it, considering the fact that she kind of touched on colorism and things. And I know a lot of the fans are seeing a ton of colorism up and throughout Real Housewives of Potomac. So we're going to get there. So get your fingers ready so you could tip tappity type down in them comments and let me know your thoughts about everything. But first things first, let's go ahead and get into what Miss Karen Huger had to say. Okay. So in Karen's review, first of all, I thought this was a bit comical because I had to rewind in the beginning because she kept referencing Charisse as the other woman. And I was like, girl, who is this lady talking about? Who is the other woman? So I had to rewind and I said, oh, she talking about Miss Charisse. Okay. So Karen says that she didn't even know that Charisse and Mia were really good friends. She was like, girl, I didn't know they was cool, especially for her to sit up there and invite me on a birthday trip like it was my birthday, and you turn around and you invite this woman. Like, first of all, I didn't even know y'all were cool. Second of all, which is technically first of all, if I was throwing an event for you, I would never invite somebody that I know that you don't like. Like for me, I just wouldn't do that, right? That's what Miss Karen is saying, okay, when it comes to Miss Mia. But what was interesting is throughout the review, even though we know Miss Karen and Mia are gonna have a, I guess like a up and down or whatever, because Mia doesn't like the fact that Karen didn't choose a side, right? Then we also see how Miss Karen be up and down when it comes to Giselle. She still played it up in her review like the ladies are all on good terms at this time. So it's like, Karen, are y'all really on good terms and Charisse is the only one that you don't like? Or do y'all have issues and you just trying to play nice? Or do y'all really just get into it for the show? Because as Giselle said in an interview previously with Carlos King, she just pretty much made it seem like she know what she doing when it comes to the show. Basically, what I took from that interview was Giselle is good at producing. She's good at producing. She's good at giving the people a show, which is why what Candiace said about plotting and planning on her and her husband, she ain't lying because Giselle knows what works for TV. And, they get into it on the show, whatever. Then once the show going off, they bow cool again. So I'm just wondering, Miss Karen, when I hear Giselle say that, it makes me wonder, did y'all just beef a little bit on TV when it comes to you and some of the ladies? And y'all cool, and the only real beef you have is really with Miss Charisse, or shall I say that other woman? That's funny because now I'm thinking about Monique when she said that other show. Okay, so now we calling Charisse that other woman. Girl, that is comical, girl. So Karen says that she does appreciate Wendy. She talked about the Mia and the Wendy situation, and she says that Wendy ended up saying a rumor about Miss Mia, Mia and Peter, and she asked her like, "Girl, was this real? Like, was this like I know this was like how like girl, tell us something like." Were you dead ass when you said what you said, or were you just speaking out of anger? And that's when Wendy said, girl, I was really just speaking out of anger. But there is a rumor, okay? Because Karen was trying to decipher whether or not it was a fact or if it was fiction or what the hell was going on. And, I shout out to Wendy because Wendy did own it and Karen gave her that. Karen said that she really does appreciate the fact that Wendy was able to own up and just admit to the fact that, like, hey, girl, I was really mad. So I was speaking from an angry place. That's really where that was coming from. But at the end of the day, girl, understand the rumors are out there, okay? But Karen also said that she kind of understood, though, why she did it. She's like, when you repeat a rumor on camera, you bring it to the forefront. She's like, girl, that's not a good thing. It really make you look worse than it is the person that you're trying to sit up there and talk about. But she understood why, Wendy said what she said because she felt like Wendy was angry. So there's that, okay? She also touched on Robyn and how Robyn tried to call her out and say that she didn't de-escalate the situation. And Miss Karen was like, excuse me, BITCH, like, not you trying to tell me that I didn't de-escalate the situation. It was so many other people at that table that could have de-escalated the situation, but yet you want to put it on me. And I was in the middle of both of the ladies that were arguing, and one got a drink thrown on her, and a piece of it hit me. And you want me to de-escalate the situation, a situation that you gaslit. I said, come on, Miss Karen. Come on, Karen. Yes, ma'am. Come on, Karen. Come on. It was definitely her that was over there gaslighting a situation, but want to sit up there and say that Miss Wendy was over there being antagonizing to a woman that started all of this on her own, to a woman that beat up her damn self, to a woman that broke her own damn nails, okay, to a woman that made her damn self mad, okay. So cut it out, all right. Miss Karen said that she felt like Robyn was deflecting, and she was also being irresponsible. And I was standing with Karen on that, okay? Karen lets people know another thing, which is really, really, really interesting, okay? Another thing, like I told you guys, a lot of people have been talking about colorism when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac. Karen wants it to be very clear and known very well that she is not a colorist at all. Okay. She says, I'm not a colorist, girl. I don't believe in that. I don't act like that, girl. I make too much money to ever do something like that. Like, girl, that ain't me. That's not who I am. Okay. I don't get into those things. So I want to go ahead and pull up what it was that Miss Karen had to say. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up what Karen had to say, pretty much denouncing any thoughts of anybody trying to put colorism on her. So y'all go ahead and get into this.
I am not a colorist. How dare anyone assume that I am? You will never find me in that light. I was not raised that way. I do not participate that way. I do not move that way. I am disgusted by the implication that any of us are colorists. We have very brilliant women on RHOP, and I feel that there are other ways to describe our fracture in our relationships other than playing into colorism. I don't support it, I don't condone it, and I don't believe it. And on that note, we're going to move on.
All right, so you guys just heard everything that Karen had to say. So let me know your thoughts and comments about Karen denouncing being a colorist the same way Miss Ashley came out and pretty much denounced that, she's not a colorist as well. Okay, Miss Girl said, I'm not no colorist, girl. Y'all can cut that out. Don't put that on me. But what's interesting is that Giselle and Robyn have yet to come out to acknowledge such claims. Okay, so y'all let me know y'all thoughts about Miss Karen and that whole colorism conversation. Now, I want to switch gears real quick, and I want to talk about Miss Candiace Diller, because she too was asked about colorism, okay, by the Neighborhood Talk, and she also was asked about Robyn and her aggressive behavior as well. Okay, so y'all go ahead and check out what it is Miss Candiace Dillard had to say.
So a lot has been going on this season, and I'm sure you saw I put a piece together about what the viewers are saying about the show so far. I did, and they are accusing the cast and producers of colorism. When you see those comments, do you agree? Like, what do you think?
Well, I will say first that colorism is most definitely a mantle of shame on our community. It's a stain on our community as a whole. I think that it's something that has to be addressed, and that starts with owning the ways in which people of color may be carrying on those mantles. It's difficult because it's hard to, I don't want to be divisive, but I also cannot deny what I see and what I feel. And in order for colorism to be dismantled and taken down, it has to be addressed. And that has to happen within our cast and on our cast. And we've had many conversations about the ways in which colorism affected our cast. Not everyone is on the same page, and for us to really even begin to attack the issue, we have to first get on the same page and agree with what's real and what isn't.
So I guess I have to ask you directly, do you think Robyn needs to be called out for her aggressive behavior?
I think that Robyn has been called out in the past for her aggressive behavior. I think that this season she is definitely working hard and making herself known, making her presence known. And yes, in all fairness, if we're going to address myself or Wendy being upset or angry about things. We need to hold everyone to the same.
All right, so you guys just heard everything that Miss Candiace Diller had to say when it comes down to colorism, and also when she spoke on Robyn. I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but I did, how she was pretty careful to answer those questions about Robyn when it comes to her aggressiveness. I do appreciate her letting everybody know, like, listen, if I got to be held accountable, and Miss Wendy or whatever, if we're all having to face how we've shown ourselves on TV, then girl, you also have to be faced with how you've shown yourself as aggressive and whatever else, okay, that it would be. So I do appreciate Miss Candiace for acknowledging that. But then my question also becomes, Candiace, would you label Robyn as a colorist? Or would you, or when it comes to colorism, would you only specifically label Giselle as that? I'm just wondering, and I only wonder that based on how careful she was when it came down to answering questions about Miss Robyn. So I just wonder, like, girl, would you put that on her? You know what I'm saying? And I also wonder if, see, this was the Soul Train Awards. This is when this interview took place. And y'all know Robyn actually just came out and did an interview with the Today Show. So my question is, would Candiace have been so careful in how she answered this question if this interview would have been after she heard what Robyn said in the Today Show interview, where she pretty much said that Candiace pretty much took it wrong, or saying she was dramatic, or whatever the case was that she said. She said it in the article, and she also mentioned it on TV when she tried to say that Candiace was dramatizing it. So I just wonder if Candiace would have been more careful with how she answered that had she known what Robyn really said. Okay, but that's all I got. You know, you guys hop down in the comments and let me know your overall thoughts. Okay, chit chat with me, all that other great stuff. Let me know your thoughts about Karen and her addressing Miss Sharice as the other woman. Also, let me know your thoughts about Karen and not being open to being labeled as a colorist and does not want any of her castmates to be labeled as such. And also let me know your thoughts about Candiace speaking on colorism and her also speaking on Miss Robyn Dixon. Okay, that's all that I have for you guys. I'm JamiThatsMe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.